The day the police showed up on my doorstep in Willow Creek, a quiet lakeside community in upstate New York, I was halfway through painting my cabin a deep, soulful sapphire blue. It was spring 2023, and I'd just moved in, chasing a promise I made to my late father. The officer, looking more embarrassed than authoritative, scratched his neck and said, "Sir, we got a call about your paint color." I blinked, paintbrush dripping in my hand, as he explained that Cynthia Reynolds, the self-appointed queen of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, had reported me for using an unapproved shade. 2 tones off her sacred color chart, she claimed, was enough to summon law enforcement. Cynthia thought she could shame me, break me, maybe even force me to sell the cabin I'd pour my heart into. She had no idea who she was dealing with. I'm not just some guy with a paint can. I am a corporate strategist who's dismantled multi-million-dollar companies. By the time I was done, Cynthia didn't just lose her grip on the neighborhood. She lost everything. This cabin wasn't just a house. It was my dad's dying wish. For years ago, as lung cancer stole his strength, he'd clutch a worn travel magazine, pointing to a picture of a lakeside cottage. "Someday, we'll have a blue house by the water, Ethan," he'd whisper, his voice faint but eyes alive with hope. Blue like the open sky, like freedom. I saved that image as my phone wallpaper, worked grueling 80-hour weeks in corporate consulting, and sacrificed everything to buy this place. The sapphire blue I chose matched his eyes, the sky on the day he last smiled. I mixed the paint myself, feeling like a kid on Christmas. That's when Cynthia emerged, like a hawk swooping in. 50-something, with a clipboard clutched like a battle axe and a color-matching device she wielded like a sword, she declared, "That shade is not on our approved palette." I tried to be friendly, grinning from my ladder. "Doesn't it look great with the lake?" Her response was icy. "Beauty is irrelevant. Rules are absolute." What followed was a nightmare. Cynthia inspected my wall like a detective at a crime scene. Her device confirming my paint was S427 Sapphire Glow, not the mandated S424 Sea Mist. She ran at about a 2.1% difference in light reflection, as if I'd defaced a national monument. I tried reasoning, they're practically the same color, but she clutched her chest like I'd insulted her ancestors. "This defiance threatens our property values," she hissed, then called 911, describing me as a hostile vandal. 2 baffled officers arrived, clearly wishing they were anywhere else. Cynthia, in full courtroom drama mode, demanded they arrest me for criminal aesthetic disruption. They didn't, but to appease her, they had me sign a violation notice. As neighbors gawked, I felt my dignity crumble. Me, Ethan Carter, who negotiated billion-dollar deals, humiliated over a paint color my dad chose. Cynthia didn't stop there. She slapped me with a $2,500 fine, complete with a smug note. "Welcome to Willow Creek. Let this be a lesson in standards." Then came the social media blitz photos of my cabin captioned, "New resident learns the importance of community values." Neighbors I'd never met liked her post, branding me a troublemaker. Every morning, she'd patrol my property, measuring my grass, 2.6 inches, a violation of the 2.4-inch limit, citing my mailbox for being 3 inches too close to the road, even fining my bird feeder for attracting pests. She turned neighbors against me. People avoided me at the grocery store, and the community dock cleared out when I approached. I felt like a pariah, all for honoring my dad's dream. But not everyone bowed to Cynthia's reign. Sarah and Mike Thompson, a retired couple, knocked on my door one night. "She's driven out 4 families in 5 years," Sarah said, her voice trembling. "Someone needs to stop her." Then came Robert Lee, a nervous ex-HOA treasurer, clutching a folder like it was radioactive. "This could ruin her," he whispered, revealing bank records showing Cynthia's company, CR Solutions, had siphoned $92,000 from HOA funds for consulting and landscaping that never happened. It was embezzlement, plain and simple. Robert begged me not to expose him. I promised I wouldn't, but I knew I had her. I called my lawyer, David Hayes, a shark who'd handled my corporate takeovers. "Set up a shell company, Lakefront Ventures LLC," I said. "We're buying the HOA." David raised an eyebrow. but got to work. Cynthia's arrogance had created the perfect opening 12 of the 21 properties held voting rights, and several owners were fed up. I visited them discreetly, posing as a friendly neighbor but probing their breaking points. Mrs. Larson, 76 and exhausted by Cynthia's fines, sold me her 2 votes for $4,000 each. The Parkers, planning to move after a $400 fine for their kids' toys, gave me 3 votes for $7,000. 3 absentee landlords, tired of compliance headaches, sold for $2,000 each. In 3 weeks, I had 13 votes, 62% control all, through Lakefront Ventures, untraceable to me. Cynthia, oblivious, planned her final strike, an emergency standards tribunal, to seize my cabin via eminent domain. She invited every resident, promising refreshments to celebrate my downfall. I RSVP'd, wouldn't miss it. She thought I was broken. She was wrong. The night of the meeting, Cynthia sat at a table like a judge, gavel in hand, her nameplate gleaming. She read a 39-count indictment: paint violations, grass height, even disruptive shadows. She moved to confiscate my home and ban me forever. Gasps filled the room. Even her allies looked uneasy. When she called for my response, I stood, portfolio in hand, and said, "Cynthia, your evidence is impressive, but I have some of my own." Her smirk faded as I revealed her embezzlement. $92,000 funneled to CR Solutions. Bank transfers, fake invoices, and mail-sendeniable proof. The room erupted. Cynthia screamed. Those were legitimate expenses. I stayed calm. Maybe the old board couldn't question you. But I convinced the new majority owner. David distributed documents, ownership certificates, vote transfers, new bylaws naming me president. Cynthia's face collapsed denial, rage, panic. "You can't buy a community," she shrieked. I smiled. "I just did." The room exploded in cheers. Sarah and Mike hugged. Mrs. Larson wept. Kids clapped. Cynthia stormed out, slamming the door. I wasn't done. I took her financial records to the DA. Within days, Cynthia faced charges: grand larceny, fraud, embezzlement. Her house went into foreclosure. Her real estate license was revoked, and her social media was a graveyard of deleted posts. News crews filmed her arrest, her perp walk a local sensation. She sold her belongings at a pitiful garage sale, neighbors watching silently. When she moved out, I bought her house at auction for $68,000 through Lakefront Ventures. At a community meeting, I announced the plan. Cynthia's house would become the Willow Creek Community Center. Neighbors rallied, transforming her sterile mansion into a vibrant hub. Her living room became a meeting hall, her backyard a playground, her garage a teen music studio. The grand opening was a festive output, games, laughter. 6 months later, my sapphire blue cabin glowed in the sunset. Kids played where Cynthia's lawn once stood, and seniors chatted on what was once her porch. A sign read, "Willow Creek Community Center, from control to community, Est. 2023. Cynthia thought she could crush my dad's dream. She didn't know real communities are built on trust, not tyranny. I bought her empire and turned her fortress into a place of joy. So what do you think? Did Cynthia get what she deserved, or was this too far? Should I have shown mercy, or was total justice the only way? What's the pettiest HOA rule you've faced, and how would you fight it? Comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories of standing up to bullies.